Hiya fishy folks, and welcome back to Michael's Fish Room. Today we're going old school, a step-by-step guide on how to breed guppies. Grab yourself a healthy snack and beverage, stand by. Welcome back to the channel, fishy folks. Today, like I said, a step-by-step guide on how to breed guppies. Now, I've done a few videos like this before, and I'll link one of them up here. But this is sort of an updated version of that. So the first you want to do is figure out what your purpose is. Are you breeding for fun? Are you breeding for profit? Are you breeding to make some guppies so you can trade them at your local fish club? Are you breeding to show them in the IFGA? Now, if it's the last one, the IFGA stuff, this isn't the channel for you. I don't particularly care for their rules and regulations, just like I don't particularly care for the AKC with dogs, rules and regulations as to what makes a perfect dog or guppy in this case. So if that's what you're looking for, this isn't your video. You might as well stay for the entertainment, but my way of breeding isn't really good for IFGA type stuff. Check out Doug Gray's channel. He's the man when it comes to breeding guppies. I'll put a link to his channel up here if that's what you're looking for. Now, let's just say you're breeding for profit, or you're breeding just for fun, or you're breeding to make enough guppies to bring to your local fish club to make some money at the auctions, or to trade your guppy nerd friends. My method is going to work for pretty much all those situations, okay? So after you've decided what you want to do with your guppies, you have to pick your stock. Now you really need to make sure you have good, healthy stock. Anytime I receive guppies, no matter where they're from, a local breeder, Doug Gray, overseas, I buy them, you know, in a fish store, I always treat them the same. I treat them for internal parasites, I treat them for other things on them, and external parasites. And I have a video on that up here. Again, I'll link that for you too. But some people don't treat, they only treat if they see something. I treat proactively. So that's the difference. And whatever you do is fine with you, but that's what I do. The next thing you want to do is pick stock. Now, this is probably the most important thing in the beginning, is picking not only healthy stock, but stock that has the traits you're looking for. Now, these are some red dragon guppies, and you can see the females look almost as nice as the males. And the funny part is, a good friend of mine, Corey from Aquarium Co Op, said these are the best guppies in the world. Not necessarily these, but red dragons in particular. He has ordered some from me before. But the females are spectacular. I have actually made the mistake of sending female red dragon guppies instead of males because they look so good. The tails are so colorful, the dorsal fins are so colorful, and some of them have really nice pectoral fins. So you can buy these on my website, michaelsfishroom.com. If you want to start your breeding project with these, or you just like them, but I always recommend starting with nice stock like that. The next thing is your breeding setup. And setting up a breeding tank for guppies is very simple. You need clean water, lots of hiding spaces, and good food. And that's pretty much it. Now, my tank of choice for breeding guppies is a 20 high, but a 20 long will do. Even a 15 will do. Anything less than that, it's kind of hard to keep water quality unless you're willing to do water changes very frequently. So if you have a 10-gallon tank, it can be done, but you're going to have to really monitor water quality to make sure you're not having any deficiencies. So let's just say you have a 20-gallon tank. You're going to want lots of hiding spaces. You're going to want lots of floating plants. What your floating plant of choice is, it could be guppy grass, it could be Java moss, it could be hornwort, it could be anything. It doesn't really matter. It could be anacharis. Any floating plant will work, and you want as much hiding places as possible for those guppy fry, because what they're going to do is they're going to be born, and because they're tender and delicious, the mom and the dad and any other guppies in the tank that can fit the fry in their mouth will eat them. because they are tender and delicious. So lots of hiding places in the form of floating plants. Also, filtration. I like to use sponge filters, and the reason why I like sponge filters are, a sponge filter is very simple. It works on the process of water flowing through it and debris sticking to it. So that's really good. And it's great for beneficial bacteria. But the benefit when you're breeding is, it's like a little smorgasbord or buffet for the guppy fry. They'll nibble on the biofilm that's growing on it all day long and grow faster. Temperature for the water, the warmer the water, the faster they'll grow, and eventually the sooner they'll die. It speeds up their metabolism. So instead of living, say, 2 years, they may only live, 22 months. I don't really know the math as to how high the temperature goes before you lower their lifespan, but it's a fact that if you raise the temperature a little bit, they'll grow a little faster. If you raise the temperature a lot, they'll grow a lot faster because of their metabolism. So what temperature? My fish room right now is 76 degrees. I just looked at the thermometer. That's fine. If you want to put a heater in there, bring it up to 80, 82, that's fine. If you don't have a heater and your house is 70 degrees, that's fine too. They'll just will grow slower. So we have filtration, we have water temperature. Now water quality is very important for any fish, but when you're breeding especially, you want to make sure you have 0 ammonia, 0 nitrites, and under 40 nitrates. Now if you have lots of floating plants, your nitrates shouldn't be a problem because those plants will suck up those nitrates and keep the water clean. Water changes. You only need to do water changes when your nitrates reach a specific level. Now, if you're breeding and you have a bunch of fry and then you start overfeeding, your nitrates may go up even with plants. So you're going to have to test your water to check. But yeah, you do your water changes when your nitrates reach, 40 parts per million. You do a 50% water change, now your nitrates are 20. And then when your nitrates reach 40 again, you change the water again. Feeding. Well, I like to feed high quality food like Dr. Basilier's. I love their nano, their fry food, and their flake food, which you can get at KJE Aquatics, is spectacular. You don't really need anything special for fry. You can feed brine shrimp, you can feed frozen, you can feed freeze-dried, you can feed anything you want. I like to take flake food and crumble it really fine, drop it in the water 2 to 3 to 4 times a day. Now just remember, the more you feed, the more they're going to poop, the more that's going to cloud the water. So, or I should say, dirty the water. So you may have to do more water changes. And that's pretty much it. I don't use a breeder box. I don't believe in them. I know some people say you can use a breeder box and you just put lots of floating plants and the mom isn't really going to be stressed. I think it's stressful for them. In my experience, it doesn't go as well in a breeder box, so I don't use breeder boxes. So we have a 20-gallon high tank. You put 1 male, 2 or 3 females in that tank with lots of floating plants. You feed them 2 or 3 times a day with water temperature, say 75 degrees, and then you wait. And within 28 days, you should have fry. It's that simple. And then I leave the fry in the tank to grow with mom and dad. And if you're breeding specifically for certain traits, you may want to start to pull out the guppies that don't show those traits. But if you're just breeding to make guppies to trade or sell at a local auction, just leave them in there, and they're fine. That's pretty much it. It's really not that difficult. It takes about, 3 months for guppies from fry to reach like adult size, depending on how hot the water is and how much and what you feed. I always recommend high quality food, like I said, Dr. Basilier's. Something with high protein, maybe over 40% protein is kind of where I'm shooting. You can feed baby brine shrimp, frozen brine shrimp, bloodworms every now and again, cyclops, whatever you want to feed is fine. It doesn't really matter for this. If you have any questions about breeding, whether it's for profit or for fun, just, you know, hit my website, click Contact Mike the Man, and then I will do my best to answer your questions. Hope you guys enjoyed, and have a great day. So lots of hiding places. Hiya fishy folks, and welcome back to Michael's Fishing. Today we're going old school. A simple, easy way to breed guppies. Grab yourself a healthy snack and beverage. Stand by. Hiya fishy folks, and welcome back to Michael's Fishing. Today we're going to do a step-by-step guide how to breed guppies. Grab yourself a healthy snack and beverage. Stand by. Hiya fishy folks, and welcome back to Michael's Fishing. Today we're going to do a step-by-step guide. No.